I'm Father Jim Donohue. I'm a resurrectionist, and I have spent most of my ministry as a resurrectionist as a university professor at Mount St. Mary's University in Emmitsburg, Maryland. I taught theology for 26 years there, but I had a sabbatical in 2019, and I wanted to visit our mission in Tanzania, and I thought maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks. But one of the things that we talk about in religious life is that there are no coincidences with God. I had sent an email to our new Superior General asking if the old Superior General had conveyed this message that I wanted to go for a visit. And he called me and told me that he got an email the same day from Father Andrew Duda, who said that they desperately needed someone for a whole year. And what would I think about not going for 6 weeks, but for going for 52 weeks? And I thought about it, but thought, yes, I can do this. And I have to say, so we had a novitiate, and Father Andrew took the novices to another part of Tanzania. So I was the rector of our 5 seminarians. And I didn't know what to expect, different culture, different language. And I would go for a walk each day. And I found as I was walking, I was daydreaming. And the daydream was about returning to my job, returning to North America, returning to my family, community members. And then about November, I'd gotten there at the beginning of August. I think about November, I found myself daydreaming about how sad it was going to be to leave. And I noticed this, and I started to pray about this difference. And I think that was the beginning of realizing that God was calling me to something new and different. And talking with our Superior General, because the mission in Tanzania falls under his jurisdiction, and our provincial. And so here it is, 2022. We're in the middle of June, and by the end of June, I should be in Tanzania. I'm going to be in a different part of Tanzania. I was in a place called Morogoro. That's where our seminary was. But I will be 2 days of 10-hour car rides north near Lake Victoria. We have 2 parishes there. One is in a place called Butiama, and the other is a place called Buhemba. And I'm going to be in St. John Paul II Parish in Buhemba. And there's a Polish resurrectionist, Father Maciej Brown, and he is our regional superior. He's the pastor. We have a deacon, Johanna, who will be ordained a priest. He'll be our 2nd Tanzanian priest, and he'll be ordained on July 9th, so he'll be in that parish. And Brother Michael, so he is under temporary vows, and he's a catechist, and me. So the 4 of us will make a team at St. John Paul II Parish. What I'm going to be doing, I'm not exactly sure, but I know that they have what they call outstations, and the fact that there'll be 3 priests now, because I know Father Maciej could only go to, I think there's 8 outstations, and he could only go to 1 or 2 on a Sunday, but now I think almost every Sunday we'll be able to cover these. I'm very excited. It's a huge change for me because I retired from teaching at Mount St. Mary's, and I had to do that thing where you get rid of things and give things away, and yeah. But you know what? I can honestly say that it hasn't been entirely easy, but I have had no second thoughts. And I think the reason why I have no second thoughts is because I'm not just leaving something, but I'm going to something. And my experience of the guys in Tanzania was incredible. There's a word, a Swahili word, that marks the gate that goes into our formation house. And it says, Karibu. And Karibu is welcome. I can't express how much people and in how many ways people welcome me into their life. When I got to the point where it became pretty clear to me that I wanted to come back to Tanzania to minister, one night at dinner, one of the guys asked me if I thought I would come back to visit. And I said, I don't want to shock you, but I think I would like to come back to stay. And they were so excited, and they said, would you stay forever? And I said, well, forever is a long time, and I'm old now. And so, if I developed health problems, I mean, you're all so young, the ministry is so exciting, and I wouldn't want to be a burden. And they all looked at me, and almost at the same time they said, Father Jim, you would not be a burden. We love you. And I thought maybe I should stay in Tanzania if I run into problems. But I'm very excited about going. My family is not totally as excited as I am, but I think over the years they realized that, as a priest, as a religious, that we need to do what God's calling us to do. And they see that, and they're very supportive. And my own province, congregation, the Resurrection, the Ontario, Kentucky province, guys have just been so supportive and encouraging. And with all that support, how can we go wrong? Yes. So when I think back to of influences, 5 years ago, right about this time, I was at our general chapter in Rome. And we had an incredible opportunity to have a private audience with Pope Francis. And Pope Francis, we were in the middle of our retreat and chapter, and up to that point, I think we had been together for 3 weeks. It was almost as though Pope Francis had been in the room with us for 3 weeks, because his message to us was exactly the things that we were talking about. And I don't have it verbatim, but one of the things he said that stuck in my mind is he said, he talked about Mary Magdalene. And he talked about how Mary Magdalene had to go out. And he said something like, as religious, we can't just yearn for the past and for nostalgia, but we have to be open to the future and to trust that God is with us in future adventures. And he said something like, we're not called to be bottled water, but living water. And that really stuck with me. And I think even though he was talking to us as resurrectionists, I think that's true about all Christians, all disciples of Jesus, that we're called to continue to listen, to recognize that there's something new that God calls to. We could get kind of stuck in our regular routine, and maybe even in expectations that nothing new is going to happen in our life, in our spiritual life. And I think God is calling us. I always think about the book of Revelation, behold, I'm calling you to something new. And so that would be my message for people, to continue to be open to the way that God's calling us in very unexpected ways. Quite honestly, looking back, 5 years ago, if somebody said to me that I was going to be going to Tanzania, what? Are you crazy? But it's unfolding, yes. And I think that similar adventures, similar calls are unfolding for all of us as disciples of Jesus.